everyone, I hope that you're all doing alright today, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome if it's your first time here. I'm back doing my save file finally. Got a bit distracted with the new expansion pack and some other videos and that I did. But yeah, I'm back doing my save file today, and I'm finally conquering this build that I'm very apprehensive about, just because it's a bit of a bigger lot and the shape of the lot and everything. And just the overall renovation idea that I had in mind, I wasn't very comfortable with. I didn't know whether to renovate it or just completely rebuild it. But I decided to rebuild it and then make my own sort of house rather than, you know, recreate it sort of thing. So I've already done the goth house renovation. Obviously that makes sense to do that. But this house, it's called Umbridge Manor originally. I don't think it's super iconic or anything like that. I don't think it's one of the favourites. Honestly, I've never played with this house, so I don't know, but I never really see anybody renovate it or anything like that. So I thought I might as well just rebuild it. But I just wasn't really sure what sort of style to go with. I want to keep the houses in this area kind of similar. So we've got a Victorian house, a gothic Victorian house with the goth house. The house that I've done previously was a Victorian house as well, but this one's a bit more colonial looking originally, so I thought, why don't we go with that sort of style? So yeah, that's what I've done. And I did actually use a inspiration picture that I found on Pinterest, and I also found a floor plan as well to go with it. Sometimes on Pinterest, if you click the image, it'll take you to a link, and a lot of the build inspirations that I come across link to a floor plan website or a real estate website, and oftentimes they will have floor plans that go with them. So I just used the one that was on the picture, and that I'll put it on screen, but I did change it a little bit, but the overall idea of the floor plan, yeah, I took from that. So that's the main thing with building bigger houses. I struggle with the layout because sometimes I feel like I either cram too much in, or I just have some weird spaces and stuff, might be too many hallways, or bathrooms are really tiny even though the house is big. It's just one of those things. I'm not that good at building bigger houses. That's why I've not really done a mansion or like that before. The only mansion style house that I've ever done was, I don't even think it's on the gallery. Oh, it might be. I think it's called Dawnbreaker Manor, and it's not a good build. So if you do want to look back on the gallery and have a look at that, you're welcome to, obviously, but it's not a good build. The layout of it is really weird. One of the first builds I did, so that's probably why. But yeah, I did find it really useful to use a floor plan. And if you like building and you ever struggle with floor plans and stuff, I always recommend Rolo's floor plans on Instagram. They've got some really good ones of for houses of different sizes, and they also have community lots as well. So if you wanted to build a community centre or a gym or whatever, I find them really useful, their floor plans. I've used them a few times. But yeah, anyway, how have you all been doing this week so far? My week has been a little bit, I mean, it's only Wednesday as of recording this. I did intend on posting this video yesterday, but I ended up going to my nana's bungalow with my mum and my auntie to clean it up for her. Unfortunately, she's had a bit of a fall at home. She lives in a bungalow and that, so yeah, she ended up having a bit of a fall. She's broke her hand and her fingers, I think she broke a couple of fingers or just one finger. So we thought we'll get the house sorted for her so that she doesn't have to do much when she gets back home and stuff. Yeah, not great, not a nice sort of phone call to have later on at night when my mum phoned me and she's like, "Hey up, so your nana's had a fall," and she's in her 70s, so if you know, obviously it's a bit when older people have falls and whatever, it can be obviously more dangerous and whatever. But yeah, I think it was just lucky really that it was just her arm that she broke, because obviously older people can break things and then that's it, you know what I mean? So yeah, luckily I think she's alright. I've not spoke to her directly, but my mum's been to visit her in the hospital. So yeah, it's been a bit slow going because I did want to go and help to clean the bungalow and everything, and just get it sort of ready for her when she comes home, whenever that is. And yeah, so that's why it's a bit late, but I'm hoping that most of you will understand. I'm sure you will. Another thing and all with this video is it took a little bit longer to edit because there was just so much back and forth with the footage. I don't know what happened. I don't even remember recording for as long as I did, but some of the bedrooms like just took ages. Then I restarted it and I was looking through the recordings that I did and they were kind of all over the place. I'm like, which recording do I use? And then I started editing it and realised that I deleted like a bunch of footage, no, a bunch of the build. So it was like, I've just edited all this footage for nothing. Yeah, it was just a bit of a stress. I think I'm just a bit like distracted at the minute. But yeah, other than that, I did enjoy putting this build together. I do really enjoy doing the base game builds now that I'm like working on my save file, but I did feel like I was missing out on a couple of things. So I felt like I wanted to put more things in the garage. Like I did a bit of a garage at the side of the house and everything, where it's obviously, it's not a functional garage for a car or like that, but I did want to put in like some sports equipment, but I wanted like flower range and stuff, and I realised that came with seasons. Then I wanted some like board games or something, then I realised that came with like other packs. And I know there's a base game like game table thing, but I didn't want to use that one. So I'm a bit like, I don't know, I think because I've not built with base game for a while, I like kind of forgot that there's certain things that I want to use that are not actually in base game. Bit annoying, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, anyway, so on the floor plan, there's an office and then like the kitchen and all that sort of thing. I think it's open plan on the floor plan. I can't remember. I've got it on my phone somewhere, but I can't bother to look at it. But I didn't like the look of it, so when I did the kitchen and like the dining area, I just closed it off, and I think it looks loads better like that with like some arches and stuff, or archways, whatever you want to call it. You'll see that when we get onto it, but yeah, it was just kind of stressing me out, the layout, because the stairs, and then you got to like walk around the stairs to get to the kitchen, and I were going to do it open plan, but I just thought it looked a bit, for lack of a better word, just a bit shitty, so I didn't end up going with the open plan sort of look to it, because I think on the floor plan there's like living rooms open plan, and then you got a dining bit, and then there's like what looks like a piano in the middle, but I think it might be a bar. I didn't want to do that. I thought it looked a bit, I don't know, I didn't like it, so I thought I'll close it off. But yeah, I ended up using the dark wood swatches. I don't think I've ever used these swatches before of these counters. I rarely use these counters, to be fair. They're just not my sort of thing, but I did like the dark brown swatches, and I thought it suited this sort of style as well, because they're quite like fancy looking. And my plan for this sort of area is this is where like a bunch of rich Sims are going to live. Not like super rich, like they don't live in mansions, but they're like upper middle class, that sort of rich. And yeah, I don't know what sort of family I'm going to have living here. I've not even done a family for the one next door. I think I got a comment about what sort of family could live there, so I'll probably do what that comment said. But yeah, I think as well I'm going to need some townies for the save file, so if you want to contribute, I don't know if I've talked about this in an earlier speed build or not, but I will do a post on the community tab about it, just so you know it's there to look back on. And if you watch this video and then later on you're like, oh, they were on about townies and whatever, but I don't remember which video it was, just look on community tab. And if you want to contribute in any way, then obviously I'll put any creators or gallery IDs or whatever if you create some townies. But I'll do a proper post on the community tab, because I'm gonna have to like come up with a hashtag so I can see people's like Sims and everything that they've made. But obviously I just need some base game townies to put in the world. Not so much families, but if I do see some families that I think would work, I might put them in the lots. But yeah, I think it's just townies that I need more than anything, you know what I mean? Like I just need random Sims to like occupy the world. They're just gonna be like pottering about outside. You know what I mean? You know what a townie is? Like they're just the unhoused Sims that just like walk around outside or whatever. Anyway, I decided to do this like back porch little thing. Originally when I were like building it, I was struggling so much to roof it, so I just deleted what was going to be the roof area, and I just did this like lattice covering thing. Normally I'd like cover it with plants and stuff, but I decided not to. I think what I'm going to do is, before the save file is ready, I'm going to go around and any items that are like floating, you know, say like some items on a shelf or whatever else, I might get rid of them. I can't explain it. I just don't want floating items. Like, I want everything to be fixed down. So yeah, I think I'm going to go around and do that before I upload it to wherever I upload it to. That's another thing. I need to figure out where I'm going to post it. I recently made a website. I just made it using like Squarespace and all that. Not sponsored or like that, but I thought for a while like I wanted a website, and I just thought let's just make it, whatever. It's not like fully finished, but if you do search HutchPlays.com it will come up. I'm gonna start and upload tray files on there, so everything's all in one place. I'll have, oops, sorry, I just bumped my microphone. It's probably like punched it. But yeah, I think I'll have like my mods and stuff on there, like links to mods and what mods I use, G-shade information. I'm gonna like proper put everything all in one place. I was thinking about having a Tumblr, but I just can't be bothered setting it up, and I think I've got a Tumblr account, but I don't like the idea of having a Tumblr. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just think a website, it's all in one place. I can have multiple links that go off to different places, whereas a Tumblr, I feel like they're a bit hard to navigate. Like, I don't know, if I go on someone's Tumblr, like I have to scroll for ages, and I don't really like that. I just want to see where everything is. So yeah, if you're interested in looking at a website that's got nothing on it, you can go to HutchPlays.com. And yeah, I think I'm gonna, like I said, post, I'll probably have the link to my save file on there with like some pictures when it's ready, and I'll probably just have it on Sims file share or whatever. But eventually I'm gonna post my tray files and everything, I think, once I get around to doing that. It's right annoying because I downloaded that Sims tray file importer thing, Sims 4, whatever it's called, it's a like program thing, I think. I downloaded it when I was doing the Better Together collab, so I could export my tray file and everything for the save file. And yeah, the day after, everybody in the Discord were like, delete it, it's got like a problem, there's like malware, or there were like an issue with the website. I don't even know what the problem was, but the day after I downloaded it, I had to uninstall it, and now I'm a bit nervous about reinstalling it. I think it's fine, but I think it was just like one of those weird things where you like click a link on the program and it like, I don't even know what it was, but either way, I think it's fixed now. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna have to sort that out and sort tray files and everything. It's surprisingly easy. Like, if you don't know how to do it, just search it on YouTube, like how to import tray files, export tray files, whatever it is. There's like loads of tutorials. I think I watched an Ocean Sims one, but I can't remember. But either way, it was straightforward. Like a lot of things with Sims, I think I overthink it and think that like modding my game or installing stuff is going to be hard, but it's actually quite easy. But yeah, I have not really talked about this build. I've just waffled on about it now. But anyway, the type of family, I guess this would be quite a large family. I made a room for a teen sim, and then there's 2 rooms that are like a double room. This room that I'm building right now, I imagine would be the boys' room, but it doesn't have to be. It's just got like quite masculine colours, in my opinion. I went with some like dark woods and just like, I guess, blue and red. But I imagined it would be a teenager and then a child sim, and then maybe they've got like a young adult living with them. There's like a teenager's room, but it could also be a young adult, and then maybe the parents are a bit older. I always imagine that Sims with lots of kids are like actual adults, not young adults. And I think for this sort of area, it kind of fits having the Sims be a bit older, because obviously well, it's not obvious, but in my opinion, it makes sense for older people to have more money, because younger people, I mean, we don't have a lot going for us Sims, you know what I mean? How many young people that are like in the mid-20s to late 20s have got their own house? Like, I don't know that many. But yeah, that's just kind of my little thought process behind it, I guess. But yeah, for this bedroom, there were a lot of back and forth because I didn't really know what I wanted to do for the layout and the colour scheme. I didn't want it too matchy, but then partway through I'm like, this doesn't even look colonial, and I kept thinking maybe the interior style didn't match like the exterior, and I wanted it to look like old-timey, I guess, and like fancy. But then I thought, why am I doing that? Like, the house is colonial, but it doesn't mean to say that the style on the interior has to be that. And to be fair, I don't even really know like what colonial interior style would be. Like, I'm imagining it in a way that's like British colonial stuff. And obviously like American one will be different and different countries will be different. But yeah, this is the teenager's bedroom, or it could be a young adult, or it could also be a grandparent, to be fair. It could be an elder sim bedroom, whatever you want, whatever sims you want to put in it. But I think for the purpose of the save file, it's going to be a teenager. I need to go over what families I've already made and make sure that I populate the rest of the save file so that there's enough sims. This is going to sound gross. So that there's enough sims to breed with each other later on. This is just how I play my game. I like to keep everything like in the same world. So I tend to have sims from the same world. So like people in Newcrest date people in Newcrest, people in Willow Creek date people in Willow Creek. I mean, I don't always do it like that, but that's just my like play style, and I've got that from playing Sims 2. So in Sims 2, obviously without mods, the worlds and the neighborhoods, they're just contained within themselves. So you can't travel to like Strange Town. People can't travel to like, oh my god, I nearly said Oasis Springs. Strange Town people can't travel to Pleasant View, for example. But yeah, that's just how I do things. Anyway, god, I've gone on a proper like tangent now. I don't even know what I'm on about. But yeah, the breeding issue sounds so gross. Pairing people up and getting couples out of it, because the way I see it, you need to have like a variety of sims, but then I also like to look into the future, and like if I've got two teens that are like similar, I think, oh, they'd make a good couple in the future. Or child sims that have a certain thing, I think, oh, when they get older they could match up with them and all that sort of thing. And I want to balance it out in terms of like genders as well, so that there can be like queer sims and straight sims, and you know what I mean, like there can be a variety. And I think I'm also gonna have at one point have like a loner living in a mansion, because I feel like a lot of my gameplay like focuses around family gameplay, just because that's my personal gameplay. I like to make families and whatever. But for the sake of other people downloading the save file, I might just have a few like Don Lothario type sims, and some sims that are not interested in dating. Maybe they just want to, I don't know, just chill and have a party at their house, or maybe they're just a loner, they just want to do their own thing. And then that way at least other people are considered in their playstyle as well. So yeah, and then this is the toddler / another child sims room. It's very sort of feminine in my opinion, and I also use colour schemes that I don't normally use, like that wallpaper. I don't think I've ever used it. We got a couple of rugs with base game when the Infants update came out. I used that as well, and yeah, I liked how it turned out. I liked the layout of it and the colour scheme and everything. And then this is the parents' bedroom. It's very basic. It's kind of on the small side, but they've got an ensuite bathroom, so it's not like, I guess it's, you know, it serves a purpose. I mean, what do Sims even do in the bedroom, like, other than sleep? And that's it. That's all they do, innit? But yeah, they've got an ensuite, and there's actually 3 bathrooms in this build. There's one downstairs, which is just like a toilet and shower room, and then upstairs there's like a bath shower. Downstairs there's a bath shower. No, two bath shower rooms upstairs, and then obviously, like I said, one is an ensuite. And I didn't do too much on the balcony. I just put some chairs out there. I figured if people want to add a bit more to it, they can. And then for the garage, I just put basic stuff in it. I think by this point I will get into the end of like my creativity like thread, I guess. You'll notice like towards the end of builds I just get like that. Like I get a little bit burnt out, especially with being like a larger build. I get a bit like, I don't know what else to put in it, and I don't want all my big builds being the same. Like I don't want every single, you know, large house to have an art room just because it can fit one, or a games room, or, you know, a big gym in it, or whatever. Like I don't want them all to be the same. So I didn't want to like overdo it, and I figured that if people download the save file or just the build on its own, they could put their own items in it. And obviously if you've got packs, then there's definitely a lot more that you could fit in the garage. And then for the back garden, again, it's very lacking in creativity. I did some like landscaping and whatever, decided to put them flowers down that I can't pronounce. I always use the white ones because I just like the look of them, but I thought, why don't I just put down a bunch and imagine that they've grown like a flower bed of those flowers that I can't pronounce. And then I also gave them a barbecue area on the patio. No, not the patio, on the back porch. And they've also got a pool and a climbing frame and some gardening stuff. And then that's about it. There's definitely more room for like other activities if you do have other packs and you want to download this build. But I was just running out of steam at this point. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this speed build, and if you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like on it and subscribe already. No, subscribe as well if you haven't already. I am done speaking for today. I've run out of the ability to speak. My jaw feels a bit tired as well. If you do want to download this build, my gallery ID is HutchPlays, and I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I need to mention. Keep an eye out on the community tab, I guess, for any updates regarding townies. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye!